Good evening, and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I just wanted to quickly go over my current arena grind strategy. As a newer player, I'm not able to just set up an infinite streak in each arena and then grind my points that way. I have to minimize and maximize my champions and make sure I'm getting the most out of the ones that are ranked up, and that I'm utilizing the lower ranked ones to build up my streaks when I inevitably drop a streak. I could set up an infinite streak in the 4-star basic and maximize points there, but I actually still don't. I tried it one time and I actually found that I was getting less points per fight for my higher ranked up champions, and that really frustrated me because I do grit through the fights fairly quickly. I do win a lot of my fights even when the opponent has like a PI of like 6,000 or 7,000 more than me, and so I don't really feel the value in it. And I do recognize that in an infinite streak, the real resource that you're gaining there is time, because it's a lot less time per fight. You get the consistent, 3 times multiplier, but because of the PI change in the opponents you're facing, you're actually getting less points per fight, even though, but you're getting more points per second, if that makes sense. So theoretically, if time is your constraint, then obviously the infinite streak is more valuable. Or if you're in a position where you have such a big roster that the 2-hour rotation window is actually making it so you don't run certain champions, then of course infinite streak is better. Or if you're just spending units, again, infinite streak is better. But for me, with my seemingly endless amount of time that I can spend in this game, it's actually more efficient for me to build up my streak, take it as far as I can, and then rotate. So my current strategy is I set up my 3 times multiplier across all of the arenas, and then I prioritize accordingly. So right now in the new veteran bracket, you can see I haven't touched the 4-star basic, and that is because I'm very confident once I have secured my points in the 4-star featured and the 5-star featured that I can go and I can hammer out these 4-star basic points very quickly. I know that I can very comfortably push 1.5 million points in one day in give or take 5 to 7 rotations of just sitting down and playing in the 4-star basic, which is still a lot of time put in, but I know that I'm capable of doing that even on like a day that I work. So what I do is I use my lower ranked champions to set up my streak here, and then once my rotation begins, which it's actually setting up right now, you can see that my top 6 here are starting to refresh, so I need to hammer through this very quickly so I can try to get 2 more rotations in. But then I'll start running through my rotation here. And theoretically, what I would like to do is I would like to see myself push up to 17 or 18 win streak. I usually drop it somewhere between 16 and 19. Sometimes I drop it at like 12 or 13 if I just, am being careless. But I literally start at the top and I go all the way down until the streak resets. And if for some reason, let's say the streak resets and I'm like only halfway through my ranked up champion pools, because I do have a good deal of rank 2 4-stars, I will then move over to my backup arena here in the 5-star featured and then continue. And hypothetically, if I screw up there, I will then move over to my 4-star basic, which I always keep at a ×3 multiplier as well, and then I will continue there. And then once I've hit my rank 1 level 10 champions and the 4-star champions, I will go back and I will rebuild these streaks here again. And so occasionally I'll see win streak 13 on my 4-star featured, because that's just where I left off. I will have hit all my ranked champions and I don't intentionally lose the streak there, because I am confident that sometimes I can push that up to 18 or 19, and that's 18 champions worth of points, like really massive amounts of points, because you do get more points for facing death squads. Like I am facing death squads for 6 rounds. It's brutal, it's really time intensive, it's very focus intensive, but it's actually really fun. And then if I drop that, then I have the 5-star feature to fall back on. Or if I'm like, sometimes I've done the 4-star featured one and then I moved over to the 5-star featured one with like rank 2 champions, because I want to save my death squad fights for the higher ranked champions I have, the ones that I'm more comfortable playing with. And I'll move over to the 5-star feature one and I'll see myself at like a win streak 11 over here and a win streak 13 on the 4-star featured, and that's when I will go into the 4-star basic and intentionally lose it, build up my 3 times multiplier so I have a security blanket there. And I actually don't even bother running all of my 4-star features. The rank 1 level 10s ones, or the rank 1s unleveled, these are really good to just hold on to in case I need to rebuild up my streak. But the most important thing for me is that I run through these champions every 2 hours on cooldown, because that's really the best way I can maximize my points. And then if I am waiting, like rather than waste time here on minimal points, since I am trying to diversify the most, I move over here into the 3-star and the Summoner Trials. And for the 3-star, I actually do utilize a infinite streak strategy. I am so glad that I can finally do this. But let's actually do availability, and we'll filter, because I don't use the 2 stars in this arena. So what I actually have is I do have a handful of rank 3's max levels here, but the rest of them, my apologies, I got a new screen protector and it doesn't seem to like my hands. I'm gonna have to, I bought another one, but I'm gonna have to bear with this for 2 days. Okay, so if I filter this by rank 3, and then I sort by availability, because it's on cooldown as I just did this, all the way down to this magic, technically this Civil Warrior is a rank 2 3-star max leveled. And so you can see here I actually get 5, 10, 15, 18. I get 6 rounds of rank 2 plus 3 stars, and because the worst fight you'll go up against here is a rank 4 max level 3-star, I can actually win those fights very consistently. I almost never drop this streak. The highest I've ever gotten this 3-star streak to is 61, and that was because I made a mistake and died. I accidentally brought my rank 1 3 stars into a fight and just wasn't paying attention. So I'm mindful of that. Civil Warrior fight is the last one I do. And the reason I do that here is because I'm not running infinite streak strategies on like the 4-star basics, and because I'm not capable of doing that on the 4-star featured, etc. Those are a lot more time consuming, and so I want to make sure that I'm being more time efficient in the 3-star featured. Plus, the milestone cap off here is only like 640,000, I think. I like to hold those. 640,000, and so I'm really not concerned about hitting this milestone cap off. As you can see, I've pushed 262,000 today. If I'm bored, I will reset the streak, or if like sometimes just because of like efficiency grinding, or sometimes because of lucky matchups, I will find myself with like 20-25 minutes in between rotations, and I'm not tired, because a lot of times what I do with that 20 minutes is I actually just take a nap, because arena grinding is exhausting mentally, especially when you really have to try hard for like half of it. But if I'm not tired and I'm like mentally prepared to continue, I will intentionally reset the streak, rebuild up, because 5 to 10 rounds at times 3 multiplier is, it's good points. Plus I get to use champions that I normally don't even bring into cooldown. Also, you do get more points for fighting higher PI opponents, because the rank 3's 3 stars I have don't force death squads, and I don't think the rank 2 ones do either. I don't remember, to be honest. And same for the Summoner Trials. Here, I actually have significantly less ranked up here. I only have 5 rotations, but it's still a good amount, and I'm actually considering just leaving it at 5 rotations, just because I'm only doing Summoner Trials for the units, and the milestone cutoff here only goes up to 250,000, and as you can see, I'm already at 90,000. So I think that my goal is to actually take these 2 stars and start maxing them up all the way. And what is core to my arena grind strategy is being mindful of whom I'm ranking up, because you really want to rank up champions based on like intelligent decisions for arena grinding. And so when I say that, I do intend to make like a tier list of like what you should prioritize when you're strictly ranking up champions for arena grind. So I've got like my Gamora, because essentially I build her up to a special 1 and then she ends the fight. A Nihilus, because I just wanted to learn how to play him. That's a subsection of like opting for less efficient but also thinking about yourself in the long run. Hulk, because again, a special 1 stun can end the fight really quickly. Vision, because I just want as much practice with Vision as possible, since I imagine I will be playing him for a very long time, especially with my 5-star luck. Star-Lord, because I don't really have a reason for Star-Lord. I did that early on, and it's kind of too late to go back, but eventually I would like to like rank up this Scarlet Witch, maybe this Magic or this Storm, as they hit really hard with their specials, and that will typically be the end of a fight. Spider-Man, those are just some examples. Rocket Raccoon is a seriously heavy hitter. Like, he is a glass cannon that I love to use. But the secondary consideration, especially with like when I rank up my 3 stars here, is really thinking about like champions you want to get comfortable seeing slash using slash understanding their mechanics beyond just like knowing what they do from reading. So like I ranked up this Korg originally to rank 2 for Alliance War defense when I first started off this game, and then I maxed him out to rank 3, sorry, max level rank 3, because a lot of Korg's timing on dodging his special is in like having the sound key memorized of like doon, doon, doon. And then having that sound key memorized and then just dodging it based off muscle memory. And so when I spam that SP1 in Arena over and over again, I do find myself able to dodge it just kind of like, you know, without even thinking about it. So that said, that is my arena grind strategy. Maybe you didn't need to listen to the whole thing. But yeah, that's where I'm at. As far as point distribution, I make sure I get all my milestones for the rank rewards. I'll get the 4-star basic. This is day 1. I'm not worried. And so my priority here is to see, essentially what I do is I see how many points I can get in the 4-star feature day 1, and that will determine whether or not I see myself pushing for potentially getting that champion if the cutoff is low. Right now, the Doctor Strange cutoff is like a little over 5.6 million. I'm not going to go for it. It's still too early for me to be able to push that many points. Efficiency, plus I really am prioritizing units for the July 4th deal. But in the future, this mindset will kind of give me an idea of like how many points can I put in here while still managing my other arenas and maximizing my efficiency grind, because the more points I can get day 1, then I can take an efficiency loss and really push more points by like intentionally losing the streak and then rebuilding up and then going back to my ranked champions rotations and really focusing on this arena. That's how I was able to determine the first time I was able to compete in a 4-star basic arena, is the whole time I was seeing how many points I could push in the 3-star featured, and then I used that to determine based on what the 4-star basic cutoff was, and that's how I knew when I was able to actually compete and wasn't just going to be wasting my time. Just kind of like a quick tip slash trick to use. And then once I hit my 1 million cutoff in the 5-star featured, I'll back off. And then I'll go to my 4-star basic and I'll get my full cap there. And once I've hit my full cap there, I will then determine, based on where I am in timing slash rest of the time I have left in the arena grind, whether or not I'll distribute the rest of my points to the 4-star featured, or whether or not I'll distribute the rest of my points to the 5-star featured. As I know for Doctor Strange right now, 3 million points gets me to that next level up for 200 more shards. But I currently don't know where the cutoffs are for the 4-star featured as far as rank rewards, as this is my first time in the veteran bracket. So I kind of have to push the limits. So part of me kind of wants to push to like 3 million, 3.5 million in the 4-star featured this time around, just so I know where, you know, an equivalent amount of points would land me. So I'll probably do that just for like testing purposes. And it sucks having to test because like there's no real accurate recording of these results, and so I'm not really trusting those. I kind of want it off of my own personal experience. But yeah, that's my grind strategy. Hopefully I've said some things that could be helpful for you. Maybe you have some tips for me, like based off of what I've said, because I would love it if you are going to tell me to run an infinite streak on anything besides the 4-star basic. I'm going to tell you no. I cannot run them in the higher ones, slash I do know for a fact that I get more points with my strategy currently, and I'm telling you I have the time to commit, so I don't have any intention to. And the reason I don't run the 4-star featured basic infinite streak is, again, you do get less points per fight. I do win almost all of my fights all the way up until round 16 or so, and even then I can usually gauge whether or not I should just intentionally lose or not. But also I will be making up a follow-up video for this, which will be discussing how to enjoy the grind slash why I intentionally set up death squads. And that will be a great follow-up video for this. So understand that I have my own other reasons besides min-maxing points, but I do stand by this is the maximum amount of points I believe I currently can get with my time investment and my current champion pool. But I do have other reasons that compel me to do this accordingly. So that said, this is probably longer than it needs to be. It always is, but I will talk to you later.